Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. And in the last episode, we actually mended our very first broken heart, met King Tom, met the Sage of Ages, also known as Horus, and we also saved a literal red herring. As in, for two reasons. One, it's an actual red herring, and it's also not the actual thing that you actually needed in order to get your wand, literally being a red herring. But with that, we can actually get into our newest episode. And in this one, we're actually going to be giving King Tom back his enthusiasm, and also figuring out what is going on in Ding Dong Dell, since there seems to be a lack of enthusiasm within their kingdom's leader as a whole, and also the fact that the whole kingdom as a whole is kind of in a, kind of like a laze effect in a way, I guess you could say. But let's do this.
Yeah, you again. One is becoming rather tired of these constant interruptions.
Sorry, Your Majesty. It's just we have something for you.
Yeah, we picked it out especially for you, Catface. It'll get rid of that tiredness of yours in no time. Give you a new lease of life. It will. Strong teeth, glossy fur.
I'm not sure that's...
Meow, that sounds just the ticket. This accursed fatigue will be the death of me. Dealing with all of these visitors has taken its toll. Not to worry, Your Majesty. A little bit of enthusiasm is all you need, ain't it?
And with that, let's give him his missing piece of heart. Based on what Drippy's saying, he says this is what he's missing, but who honestly knows if he's actually missing a piece of heart or not? And I guess we'll find out very shortly. But with that, we also got ourselves a cutscene, so I'll be right back.
So, do you think it worked?
Let's see, shall we?
What the devil was one up to?
Your Majesty, please tell us you're back to your old self.
Eh? Why, one is 10 times more energetic than one has ever been, but one feels different somehow.
This is your doing, is it not? Then you must be rewarded. Your Majesty, it seems that these brave adventurers have lifted the curse that was placed upon you.
What? Is this true?
Yes, Your Majesty. It appears that you were cursed with a lack of enthusiasm.
Is that so? One certainly didn't feel oneself for a while there. It seems one is in your debt.
And with that, we have just saved the King of Ding Dong Dell. And just like that, all he needed was just a little drop of enthusiasm. And more than likely, he had it stolen from him by the likes of Shadar himself. But with that, let's continue.
What would you claim is your prize, Tidy, you know what to ask for, ain't it, honey boy?
Oh, sure. We'd need a magic wand, Your Majesty.
Meow, is that so? Strangely, one feels as if has had this conversation before. Now one thinks of it, there is a wand one prized very highly as a kitten hidden away safely in one's bedchamber. There is and the one who would be willing to part with it, but one will have to find it first. Return later on, and one shall present it to you.
Jeepers, thank you very much, Your Majesty.
So, boy, if you are in search of a wand, can one take it that you are perhaps a wizard?
Indeed he is, Your Majesty, a shiny new apprentice wizard. Who doesn't exactly know much magic yet.
Is that so? Then let one provide you with a spell or two. One's wand will be a little use without spells to cast after all.
Really, Your Majesty? That's so kind of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you indeed, Mr. King Tom. You have received a new page describing the Spring Lock spell. You have also received a page describing the Rejuvenate spell. I believe that can fix broken items, or warped items, anything of the sort. I think that's how that works.
Meow, you must be enjoying these spells and inspired one so much in one's younger days.
The one that unlocks things and one that restores things to the former glory, eh? What did you used to get up to with these, Your Majesty?
None of your business, fairy. Now, boy, you travel with a familiar, do you not? One has sent word to the quartermaster's stall down in the town that you are to be given permission to shop there.
The quartermaster's store? What kind of place is that, your Majesty? We've actually been inside there. They didn't let us go in there because of the fact that you needed the king's permission to actually shop in there.
Meow, are you sure that you are an adventurer? One cannot help but fear for the safety of such an innocent. No matter, the quartermaster's store provides weapons and equipment for those that use with the use of familiars. Why not go and browse the products on offer while one seeks but one's wand?
We sure will, your Majesty. Thank you very much.
Now one has plenty to attend to. Come and present yourselves to one again in a short time.
Okay, and with that, let's actually head over to the quartermasters, since we will definitely be needing some items as of soon. Since, when you want to go and fight enemies, you want to make sure that you're always prepared. And being prepared in one way or another is actually a good thing in this game. Because, one, there's going to be a problem with, you always want to be upgrading your weapons and your accessories and your shields or whatever your units use. You always want to make sure that you're always working on that. And also, just to be honest, in other news, when it comes to myself, I actually finally got to go to the gym for the first time in a year, which has been wonderful since I've been kind of stuck inside due to COVID and everything, so honestly, I'm just happy I got to lift weights for the first time in a year, so I'm pretty hyped right now, honestly, to be completely honest. But here he is, the quartermaster.
Caw, is it you? His Majesty informed me that you would be coming. He instructed me to sell you whatever you require, and I'm more than happy to cooperate. So we have a look around. I'm sure you'll find something with which to equip your familiars.
Equip my familiars? How do you mean, sir?
It seems that an explanation is in order. Very well, then. Here crows nothing. To ensure your familiars don't get cast short, you can give them a boost by equipping them with certain items. I don't want to crow, but you'll find plenty of items your familiars can equip among my wares. There are 3 types: weapons, armor, and accessories. Just remember that the items a familiar can equip vary according to its genus. It's not complicated, so don't get into a flap. The best way to learn is just to try equipping your familiars. But don't feel left out, will you? Humans can, of course, equip items too. Select friends and familiars and press A to change the items you have equipped. Why not buy a nice matching set of items for you and your familiars? Birds of a feather stick together after all.
Okay. As soon as I have some money, I'll start buying some accessories and stuff.
Sounds like the old bird has a down in proper sales number on you, Ollie boy. Just remember that the accessories ain't the only thing you can equip. Wizards like you can use all sorts of wands as well. Flipping heck, man. Speaking of wands, we need to go and get you, a new wand off King Tom, ain't it? Clean forgotten I had.
Yeah, I guess he's probably found it by now.
I reckon so, Ollie boy. Come on, let's head down for the palace.
Let's also see if we can actually buy anything.
Customer, I don't mean to crow, but our wares are the finest in the land.
Well, let's see here. Let's see if we can even buy anything. I don't want to buy a wooden sword if we can easily buy the well-worn sword eventually, but we can also buy shields and stuff here, so we might actually have to kind of think of what we want to do here. It looks like we won't be able to buy much here because of the fact that we don't really have anything to use at the moment. I guess we could sell our booster shoots, but that really won't help us here, so I guess we'll be coming back for that. But we can actually go over this little treasure chest since I actually forgot about it, so let's see what we can get. A sundae, another thing we can actually feed our familiar. I don't know if it's actually worth going and feeding them yet, due to the fact that we don't really have enough food to do any of that yet, but we will eventually have the ability to kind of mess around with our familiars in the most case scenario, because we only have 3 things to use: the sundae, I believe, a chocolate bar, and I forgot what the last one is, but it's... All of them are, like, beginner level, food snacks for your familiars and stuff, so I feel like it's not really worth going all in doing that yet, since technically, in a way, you can wait on doing all that until you actually need to do any kind of, like, messing around with your inventory and stuff like that, since all that stuff's kind of... Well, it is good to do, but we really don't have anything for it to actually be worthwhile. And also, let me make sure that there's nothing actually hidden, like hidden springlock chests or anything, because there is some around the world that we can find if we were to look around far enough. But let's see what's going on here.
Oh, it's you. Thank goodness. You have to help us. Something terrible has happened. Flipping heck, man. Don't tell me old King Tom's gone and got his heart broken again. No. His Majesty's heart is in good working order, as far as I know.
As far as you know?
After you restored his Majesty's, missing enthusiasm, he was determined to find his old wand, so that he could give it to you by way of a reward. So determined, in fact, that he said he would go and look for it himself. Well, that's good, ain't it? What's all the fuss about? His Majesty has disappeared. The gatekeepers swear that he hasn't left the Ding-Dong Dell, and yet he's nowhere to be found. I smell a rat by here, Ollie boy. Well, I suppose there's only one thing for it, eh?
What's that, Mr. Drippy?
A spot of investigating, ain't it? Righto, Helmet Face. You and your mates keep an eye on the castle. We're going to be looking for clues. Yes, understood.
But where do we look, Mr. Drippy?
Don't worry, Ollie boy. You know the place, you know it. Very well, in fact. Come on, I'll tell you more when we're outside.
Okay. Well, I guess we will indeed, in fact, figure out where we're going next. Where are we going, Mr. Drippy? And what's this about somewhere I know real well?
Where do you think, clever clogs? Motorville, ain't it?
Motorville? But what does Motorville have to do with finding the king?
Well, the answer ain't always going to be over by here, Ollie boy.
Huh? What does that mean?
You got to remember the whole soulmate thing, ain't it? What we see here in this world ain't always the whole picture.
Soulmates. Okay.
Think about it, Ollie boy. Why are you here in our world, eh?
To save my mom?
Exactly, and your mom is the great sage Alicia's soulmate, right? And we're trying to free Alicia from the soul snare over by here, so we can help your mom back over by there, ain't it?
Well, that's what you told me, Mr. Drippy.
And I wasn't fibbing, so people in your world and my world are connected. Not just Alicia and your mom, all people.
They are? So?
Exactly, that's clever of you. There's someone over in your world who's connected to King Tom over by here. And when someone in our world is in a potch, you can sometimes find out how to help them from their soulmate over by in your world. Because they're connected, see? Obvious when you think about it, ain't it?
So somebody in my world is King Tom's soulmate, huh?
That's right. But maybe not a person, and maybe not such a lofty position as our friend the Cat King.
Huh.
Well, Shopkeeper's Cat and King of Ding Dong Dell ain't exactly similar status-wise, is it?
Shopkeeper's Cats? I don't think
Flipping heck, man, it's like pulling teeth. Okay, so soulmates can look and even act the same, right? We've covered that already. So when you first saw King Tom and you instantly thought to yourself, hello, he's a spitting image of Timmy the cat he is.
I did? Huh. So you mean King Tom and Timmy Toldrum are but Miss Leela's cat?
They're just clever of you, better late than never.
But Timmy's just a cat.
Exactly, just like our pal King Tom. What's so strange about that? Crikey, you're not very perceptive for a youngster, are you? If two people are soulmates, there'll be similarity somewhere. You've just got to keep an open mind and a peeled eye. Spot the similarities and you'll find the soulmate.
Gee, I never knew. So Timmy, huh?
Timmy indeed, my lad.
If we can find that fat old furball, we might get a clue as to where King Tom's got himself to. So magic us up a gateway, and let's get over to your world, shall we? You remember how, don't you?
Sure I do. Let's go see how everybody's back in Motorville is doing.
Sounds like it indeed, Ollie boy.
I felt like adding that one. But all we have to do is just do one little gateway, and this will take us all the way back to Motorville. And see, I told you don't really need an open space to actually cast the spell, just for the very first time you use it, since the game wants you to kind of see that whole little interaction with the gateway and everything, because honestly, to give us a little bit of story, added story, it's just something to have in general. Okay, well, let's make our way into Layla's Milk Bar, and hopefully we'll be able to find Timmy, Toldrum somewhere around here. Hey, Miss Layla, what's going on?
Oh, Oliver, seeing you. I just don't know what to say, my dear.
It's fine, Miss Layla. I'm okay now.
You are? Well, I'm pleased to hear that. Honey, but if there's anything I can do, just let me know, won't you?
Actually, there's something you can do for me right now. Miss Layla, you can tell me where Timmy is. Is he here in the store?
Well, now that you mention it, I don't think I've seen him. Timmy, where's my Timmy Toldrum? He must have run off somewhere, the little rascal.
He's probably gone exploring, huh?
Oi, Ollie boy, does this little situation remind you of anything?
It sure does. It's just like what happened with King Tom.
Bingo! We've got ourselves a missing king cat in one world and a missing fat cat in another. And I reckon the reason why'll be the same too. Track down Timmy and you're sure to find
the vital clue that will help us solve the mystery.
There's sharp of you, and here's your patch, ain't it? You know it like the back of your hand.
Uh-huh. I'll solve the case of the missing cat in no time.
I'm awfully sorry I couldn't help you, dearie.
But you didn't, help. Thanks, Miss Leela.
I did? Well, alright then. Goodbye for now, dear.
Goodbye, Miss Layla.
Righto, Ollie boy. Let's start out where you know best, shall we? Round by your house, I mean.
Sure. Let's go. Actually, let's talk to her one more time just to see if she says anything about his clothes, because sometimes they actually do mention why he's wearing his, little uniform.
Wherever could be Timmy Toldrum be? He just won't stop running off, lately.
Definitely strange. How about you, Mr. Drippy?
Give over, mun! Stop staring at me like that! You're giving me the flipping willies.
Flipping willies. I like how he talks sometimes, honestly. Okay, well, there's only one place I can think of, and that's over by our house, so let's make our way over to Oliver's little hometown house, shall we? So I believe, if I remember correctly, Timmy's actually not going to be around the house. He's actually going to be somewhere nearby, based on what I remember. But I could be completely wrong. Oh, look who it is, actually. It's P. Long time no see, actually, to be honest.
Oliver, I'm so sorry, Oliver.
It's you.
We haven't looked in your house yet, have we, Ollie boy? I'll run over there and check now. Back in a bit.
Oh, sure, Mr. Drippy. Well, when is it now, P?
I'm sorry, Oliver. I'm sorry you're all alone.
Huh?
Your mummy.
You know about that. When Mom died, I thought she'd be gone forever. I thought I would be all alone. But now I can help her. I just need to finish what I started. Oh, I wanted to ask you. That wand, the one I found, did you leave it for me? Without it, I could have never gone to the other world. Maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about, but if I hadn't been for that wand, I'd still be all alone.
Really? Really?
Really.
Hooray! I hope you can save your mummy, Oliver.
Thanks, but who are you? How do you know my name?
I'm P. I've always known you, Oliver.
Always? So your name is P, huh?
Yes, I'm P.
Oh, hey P. Have you seen a big old cat? His name is Timmy Toldrum. He has stripes all over and he's a kind of fat. Oof, poor little cat.
Mr. Kitty, I know Mr. Kitty.
Mr. Kitty?
I'll take you to Mr. Kitty, Oliver. Follow me.
She must mean Timmy, right? Well, I would hope so. There's probably a bunch of cats in this area.
Oi, Ollie boy! No sign of old Fatty the Mog in this house. I'm afraid. What are you doing standing around by here on your own, anyway?
I might just know where to find Timmy, Mr. Drippy.
You what? How, where,
Please, P, could you show us?
What's all this then? Are you alright, Ollie boy?
Yeah, he can't see P. I kind of mentioned that earlier, and I'm pretty sure it kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier as well, because of the fact that, for some reason, P works on different wavelengths than Mr. Drippy does, and I don't understand why that is in fact the case, because knowing her story in the future, I've already said I'm not going to explain anything about that because that would be spoiler territory, but for me knowing who she is, I'm actually really surprised that Drippy can't actually see who CP or even know who P is what I'm trying to say. But other than that, I'm not going to explain anything more about her because she's major spoiler territory if I were to go any further. Is this where Timmy is, P? Huh?
Listen, what's that?
Oh, it's a mouse. Hey, little mousey. A mouse?
Is there something through there, is there?
Well, maybe. I'm guessing maybe Timmy? Timmy? Yep, there he is. Big ol' fat cat, just sleeping next to a mouse.
Oi, Timmy boy, pull yourself together, mun. Looks like we'd better take him back to Layla, ain't it, Ollie boy?
You're right. Thank you so much for showing us, P. But where did she go? I don't... Poor Drippy thinks Oliver's insane.
What are you standing around for, lazy bones? Get a flipping move on.
I completely forgot that he picks up the cat like that. The poor cat's floating in the middle of the air for... Honestly, I wonder what the reaction is for people in this world. Because of the fact that I'm pretty sure Timmy is actually floating in the air for everyone else in this world. So honestly, I do really wonder what people see right now when they see Mr. Drippy carrying Timmy and poor Timmy being in the air like that. Because I don't think anyone will actually bring up anything about that. But I'm honestly pretty sure that they can't actually see that. Well, let's go drop off Timmy to Miss Layla then. Hey, Miss Layla, here's little Timmy. Miss Layla, it's Timmy, he's...
Oh, goodness, my Timmy Toldrum. Whatever happened to you?
He was actually chasing mice around over by the cars over in the, over kinda by, Phil's garage, actually.
Oh, thank you, dearie. You brought him all the way back home to Mommy. Wasn't he heavy?
Oh, no, not really. Is he okay?
Oh, don't worry about Timmy, Oliver. It's nothing serious. He's just a little tired, aren't you, Timmy dear? It doesn't take much to tire out my big old boy, like you do, doesn't it, Snookums?
Is that all? I was worried flipping sick about him.
But what was Timmy doing all the way down at the garage?
Well, dearie, one of my customers told me all about it. She said that Rusty's garage is just crawling with mice. And my dear old Timmy Toldrum just loves to chase the little devils.
That's actually surprising. A big cat like that, usually, you don't think of them chasing things. Timmy loves to chase mice, but he's so...
Thank you so much, Oliver, dear. Now I know that's where he disappeared to. I can stop worrying about him. He was just getting a little exercise, weren't you, my little Timmy Toldrum? I guess I could learn a thing or two from you, huh?
Too flipping right you could.
Well, that's really rude, Drippy. Okay, Miss Layla, I have to go now. It was nice seeing you.
Do, dearie. Just let me know if there's anything you need now, won't you?
Will do.
Tidy, you worked it out, I expect, ain't it, Ollie boy?
I don't think so, Mr. Drippy.
Come on, mun. Timmy disappeared because he ran off chasing a mouse, didn't he? So the mouse is a clue, ain't it?
It is. King Tom's disappearance has to do with mice too, huh?
Got it in one. Exactly what it has to do with mice is one whole nother question, though. But I'm sure I've heard someone saying something about a mice over in our world.
Then we should go back to Ding Dong Dell and investigate. I just know we'll find something.
Righto, Ding Dong Dell it is.
Righto indeed. And back to Ding Dong Dell, we do go indeed. I believe you can use... Yep, I was right. Okay, so we don't even need to go outside to use Gateway. So, back to Ding Dong Dell we go. And we actually do know where the mice could be if he is chasing a mice. Due to the fact that the little boy that we got the enthusiasm from earlier in order to save Mr. King Tom is actually right next to the entrance of it. And like I said, we will be going into the next dungeon soon. And like I said, the next dungeon is indeed going to be the sewers. So, down into the sewers we go. And the little boy is right over here too, little Tommy Stout.
Hey Oliver, I think I heard King Tom's voice. It was coming from Ding Dong Well.
Huh, Ding Dong Well?
Yes, I could hear it coming from the other side of that gate. It was definitely King Tom, I'm sure of it.
Ding Dong Well, you said that there was mice living down by there, ain't it?
Yes, the place is full of mice. That's why I'm standing here, keeping guard. Mice and cats really don't get along, you see.
Oh, darn it, Ollie boy. I know what's happened. King Tom's been kidnapped by mice.
Kidnapped?
That's right, you saw how Timmy went after them mice in your world. Well, in this world by here, the tables have turned. It's the only explanation, man. Crikey, it's a good job I'm here to put 2 and 2 together for you, ain't it?
If King Tom's been kidnapped, we need to rescue him.
Are you going down to Ding Dong Well, Oliver? Then I'm coming with you.
Don't be daft, man. This is a job for professionals, ain't it? Not some underage vigilante with a saucepan for a helmet.
Actually, talking about saucepans for helmets, there is some heroes that actually wear saucepans. In Awakening, one of the villager character of that game is actually wearing a little saucepan on his head, and he actually ends up being the strongest character in the game, or one of them at least. But you can't really say that about saucepan heroes, I'll be honest.
I'll be okay. I'll have my friend with me.
Oh yeah, I forgot you actually have a little friend. But I do know that you aren't actually a party member, but your little friend is actually indeed. I think I actually remember when I ended up naming this guy too. I believe his name is Julian on, when we originally did the series.
Look at that, a flipping familiar. Well, I'll never.
He followed me home when I went to play in the woods. And he's really strong. If he's with me, I'll be fine.
You don't quite get it, do you, Sunshine? Fighting with familiars is flipping hard. Your average person can't just jump into a fray and start ordering them around. You need to be a wizard like Ollie Boy here.
Okay then, Oliver. You can have my familiar.
Gee, thanks, Tommy. Thank you very much. And there we go. I actually didn't remember his name, but apparently one of the names you can give him is Lamal. Okay, actually I do wonder what his other suggestions are. Thumbo, Curly, Angel, Lemur, and Lamal. Okay, but just to follow what we did with the original one, since we did follow the fact that we did name the mite Little Spook before, I'm actually going to name him just like I did before, just because I want to continue on with what I did before, just because I feel like naming them what we did originally kind of brings them back to life in a way. Julian, and almost. Julian, there we go. And would I like to call the Thumble Lemur Julian? Yes, I would. And there we go, we got ourselves King Julian. And that's actually the real reason his name's Julian. Because he's a lemur and he reminds me of the Penguins of Madagascar and the Madagascar movies Lemur, if I'll be completely honest. But that's the whole reason for that name. We'd better head down there, huh?
Indeed we had, Ollie Boy. Leave it to us, Tommy, me lad.
Okay, be careful, Oliver.
And we'll be seeing you later, Tommy.
Hey, Ollie Boy, it looks like you can get that new familiar of yours to psych up.
I can? Gee, what does that mean, Mr. Drippy?
Well, it means it sort of builds up its strength for a bit, ain't it? So he can give the bunnies a proper whacking like. Once a familiar is psyched up, instead of it just attacking like normal, you can let it go wild. And when a familiar goes wild, it attacks for longer, and does a load more damage.
Gee, that sounds real neat.
It gets better, Ollie boy. This new technique of yours would make it easier to cancel enemies' actions as well.
Cancel enemies? What?
Yeah, man, I should have told you about this earlier. I suppose some creatures have got some pretty tasty tricks up their sleeves, see? But give them a whack and when they're ready, getting ready to try one, and they won't be able to pull it off. It'll be cancelled, ain't it? Cancelling enemies' actions like this is much easier when you go wild, so it's a good way to keep yourself safe from the harm and all. And the only thing is, familiars that can psych up can't defend for toffee. It just ain't in their nature, the feisty little blighters. Anyway, now that you've got two little mates, you'll soon see for yourself that all creatures are different.
I guess I will. And indeed, we do indeed have a new thing to do. And like I kind of explained earlier, how that actually works is it actually gets rid of your defend ability, because you have units that can defend, units that can psych up, and units that can evade entirely. So, with that, he actually doesn't have a way to actually block damage. So, I wouldn't use that to exactly fight against abilities like that, since certain units aren't strong enough in the defense category to actually block damage like that. So using Psych Up on him is actually not the best thing, but it will increase the amount of damage he does, which is a good thing in a way. But with that, let's actually head into Ding Dong Well, and I believe we actually have to use one of our new abilities in order to get down here.
It looks like the gate's locked, Ollie boy.
But the king's down there, and we don't have a key. What are we going to do?
Calm down, man. We don't need a key or wizard, ain't it? Just cast the spell old King Tom taught you.
You think I can open it using magic? I guess I could give it a try. And with that, we just use our new ability, Spring Lock. Encourages that which is shut tight to open. Does not work on human hearts. Actually, I wouldn't even have thought that would work on a heart, but apparently they actually had to write that down just in case.
Tidy, it's open.
Now we can go find the king.
That we can, in we go, Wally boy. Oh, and you can use that spell to open locked chest as well, by the way. If you find any blue chests lying around, you can cast Spring Lock and plunder away to your heart's content.
Blue chest open with Spring Lock. Got it. Thanks, Mr. Drippy.
No problem. No problemo, Wally boy.
I just felt like to add that just in case. But in we go, Ding Dong Well, and there's a new familiar, where the pussycat once fell. I like how they kind of go with a nice rhyme for that. I like how the game rhymes sometimes, or adds little small little tidbits to each and every area you go to.
Crikey, it's damp as anything down by here. My lantern will go all moldy if I don't watch out.
Probably indeed, actually. It would really get moldy.
Oh, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of a bucket load of proper feisty beastie, careful, Lolly boy. You'll have to watch yourselves from here on in, man. Things could get ugly.
Okay, Mr. Drippy, I will. And Mr. Drippy's not going to be able to help you at all, I'll be honest there, buddy. But, in we go, and there is going to be our very first fight in this dungeon, because it's always going to be one of these little jackrabbit guys.
Look lively, Ollie boy. There is a monster coming your way.
Well, let's deal with it quickly and go look for the king.
That's the spirit, and remember you've got the other familiar that lad gave you now as well, ain't it? Battle should be a bit easier with two of the little blighters on your team. Double the trouble.
Neato. And in we go. It's been quite a while since we've actually did a fight, hasn't it? But there we go, a Rabot and a Tattleywink. I actually remember them being called Jackrabots, but I think that's actually a Metamorphosis enemy. But due to the fact that Julian is actually only level 1, it's actually not going to be in our best interest to shove him into his first fight right now. I'm just going to be honest there, so we're actually going to wait on that one. So we'll use Little Spook instead.
At last, double the familiars, double the fun, and double the possibilities. To swamp between your familiars, just press the LB and then pick one with the L2 or R2 buttons.
We'll definitely think about that, but I'm not thinking of throwing Julian into a fight like this, because I know what happens when you use him. He's not ready for the first fight, because my first playthrough, my second playthrough, he did not have the easiest time, and I'm not going to end up throwing him into this playthrough. So I'm just going to learn from mistakes, and just go with little Spook here for now, until he's at least a decent chunk of XP next to him, at least, like level 4 or something. But with that, let's continue.
That's simple enough even for you, ain't it? Tidy. Let's go get to it then, shall we?
And with that, let's indeed get into here. Due to the fact that I believe the Rabot is actually more dangerous here, let's actually deal with him first, since the Wink is actually more magic-based. Ooh, block that. Perfect timing on that, because that could have hurt a lot, honestly. Just smack him a little bit more, and down this guy will go. Down goes the Rabot. Let's grab us some free MP. Honestly, the best thing we could do here is actually wait for a Glim, and let's go and smack him a little bit more until our little stamina gauge is out and for the count. And with that, now we're recharging, although you don't have to, but it's actually better to do. I don't know why I just tried that, but I'm going to go here for a second due to the fact that I kind of want to explain how stamina works in this game, because it didn't really explain it. It says that, yes, you do lose stamina, but the thing is you could still fight, you'll just do less damage when you're in that mode, and I believe you can't use spells as well. So, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong on the spell parts, but I do remember it does drastically take down your damage, so you do want to be careful with that. Due to the fact that we are a little bit low, we're actually going to cast Healing Touch once, and then I do want to think about throwing little Spook back in. I'm waiting till the game gives us a nice time to actually charge back up, because it's better to throw him in than Julian here, as I was saying, since he does have higher defense. Since Julian is level 1, it's not really safe at all to throw him into a fight like that. And actually, since we hit level 5 with Oliver, we just got a full heal actually out of that, since he was really close before. And with that, level 5 for Oliver, and we actually have some new stats to work with. Some extra strength, some extra magical attack, bunch of little stuff. Always good, always good. And level 2 Julian. Always fine to work with. Okay, let's see if we can actually slide by here, since there is some freebies if we actually walk around a little bit. And that was actually close. I actually didn't even hear him sneaking up on me. I thought we were actually far enough away that he wouldn't actually attack me. Okay, well, first off's first. I'm actually going to use Cut Loose, since we don't usually use the ability that often, so honestly, doing a little bit of damage here is probably for the best, since it will drop this guy's attack on us quite a bit. And it looks like he actually blocks a lot of our damage, which is actually a bad thing, because he's doing more damage than we are dealing to him. Oh, okay then. That's actually kind of bad. Okay, I'm going to actually back up a little bit, use some Healing Touch. I have a feeling that I think the reason why we're not doing him as much damage is because this guy actually has more defense than we actually have. Yep, he's definitely that then. So we can use Julian a little bit here. Uh-oh, we need to back up from him since that's an area of effect damage. Okay, use one fireball and Nausea should be down. Yeah, he's weaker to magical attacks. And none of our units actually have any way of dealing with magical damage yet, since you can get familiars that are mages, but due to the fact that we actually don't have any sort of mage familiar yet, we actually can't take advantage of his weakness yet. Although we can still fight, which is easy to do. Okay, I think we do have to make our way around here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is a big dungeon, but let's make our way through Ding Dong Well. Although we're probably not going to finish this dungeon in this episode, we are going to try and get as far as we can, since we can easily try at least, and trying to get some experience here as well would be really good, I would think. But since we snuck on this guy, we actually get some free hits here, so let's actually take advantage here since we have this little ability to get some free smacks in here. Although we are doing very little damage, so we do need to be a little bit careful since we are actually going to have to worry here. White bread, since we have a bunch of these, we should actually use it a little bit. Okay, now that we got that in, let's actually do defense since he's using Water Bomb. Okay, swap back to Little Spook to do some little bit more damage. And we're pretty much done with this fight here as of right about now. Yep, down goes that guy, and we just get to wail on this Tattletywink now, since he's not going to be really able to defend himself, since Little Spook actually has some decent attack. Although he can't really fight much yet, since he doesn't really have a weapon, but he still can do something at least, and that's always worth a shot. Okay, there we go. We do want to buy some items though eventually, since we are a little behind, since we don't have the ability to actually fight these guys properly, since usually you would have enough money to actually fight off with the enemies in this game at this point, but due to the fact that I didn't do any extra fighting in between episodes, which I would have done before because of the fact that, I believe, oh yeah, that was the reason. So the reason why I don't have the extra money is because I saved some time for you guys by, instead of traveling all the way from the deep dark woods on foot in episode, we actually we actually lost out on a couple of fights because of that, since I actually completely got to Ding Dong Dell without actually fighting anything. So that was actually why we were behind in the gold, so we couldn't buy anything, which is honestly my fault, but honestly, I wanted to save you guys some time. And also, sometimes I don't like fighting off camera, sometimes, because it's not hard to farm experience in episode, so I felt like doing that would be a little bit early, because the early experiences actually matters. If it was like late game experience, then it would make sense for me to do any kind of farming off episode, but it was like early game stuff, so I felt like you guys I didn't want you guys to miss out on some of that. Okay, since we do know that the nausea is actually dangerous, we actually have to use Fireball on him. We're going to actually focus on him instead of the Rabots, since we know that the Rabot's actually close range damage. But the nausea, on the other hand, is actually something we do want to worry about, at least a little bit. Okay, so now since he's actually low on HP, we can actually start wailing now, since we do know that we at least did one... Ooh, that's a big hit. Okay, I need to actually back off for a second and heal. Okay, do one big healing touch, run back in with Little Spook, and Julian's actually going to be able to fight now that he's actually level 4, so we'll actually use him probably in the next fight at least. But let's see if we can get that last glim, and we did perfect. Just to get some extra healing before the fight's over. Although we're going to hit level 6 in a second anyways, but at least it's something. Okay, I actually do have to remember which way leads through this dungeon. So let me kind of take a look around. Okay, it's this way. Okay, oh, wait, no it's not. We need to go this way, over by this door. There we go. Okay, I just need to make sure we were walking the right way, since these places are kind of, mazes when it comes to if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, well, let's look at this King Tom statue.
I reckon it might be worth trying to light these, Ollie boy. It's hell of a damp in here, though the flames won't last long.
Okay, so we need to use our Fireball ability, and it did say we could only use it in fights, but the thing is, the game actually wasn't entirely correct on that, because you can actually use it in outside events, like lighting these beacons here. I'm actually surprised they didn't actually tell you can use it outside of battle, because they strictly say it's only for battle earlier, so if you didn't know that you could actually use the ability outside of battle, you actually probably would get stuck there if you weren't paying attention. Okay, so it looks like we need to go right here, so let's keep following through the Ding Dong Well. And all we need to do is just try and find our way through here in order to help out King Tom, because we'll eventually find him through here. It seems to be sealed by some kind of magic. Oh yeah, and the spring lock. I forgot you actually have to select it in this game. I'm so used to Ni no Kuni 2 actually doing that for you. Okay, Spiral Horn. I believe that's actually something we can throw onto Julian, so let's actually throw 5 extra damage on him. That's actually really good. I don't think we have anything for our little mite here. Yeah, we don't have anything. So now Julian's actually stronger than Little Spook now, actually, for the time being. Well, actually, we should probably fight this guy since we're almost level 6. This will actually re-heal our magic. So actually, we might want to do that first, because we actually see that there is going to be another thing for us to light up in a short little while, and we want to be ready for that. Okay, let's see here. We do need to deal with this Rabot, though. because I feel like it would be safer to throw Julian into a 1-by-1 fight than it would be to throw him into that fight. So, because of the fact that I believe Julian... Yep, Julian has low defense, and that guy just did 5 damage for 1 hit. So, I'm gonna actually say no to that, and I'm gonna healing touch myself, because I would rather not waste our white bread healing items, because we can use those for later if we are in more of a pinch. And since we know we're going to be leveling soon, we should probably just save that. And as you saw, 0 from Blue Glim means that we actually leveled. Perfect. And I was right on that. That was actually a perfect fight there then. And there we go, level 6. Do want to watch out for the nausea if we want to actually mess around with the... Oh, these guys are actually faster than me. Okay. I actually forgot about that. Okay, so we do know that we can't just mess around with this guy, so we will have to use some spells on this guy. So it looks like, I think it was going to be 8 magic to actually get rid of this guy, almost. Okay, that should be a decent amount. Uh-oh. Block that. Thankfully we didn't get poisoned there, because that could be bad. But thankfully we got this guy out of the bag, and down goes another one of those little blighters, or whatever you want to call them. But there we go, perfect. Okay, fireball time. All we gotta do is, let's see here, I think there's actually more than one. I think we want to map as much of these as possible, because this is actually in Ni no Kuni 2. The same kind of puzzle where you have to find all of the fire locations in order to actually continue. Okay, this is one of those that isn't like that though, so let's use our fireball, and let's open this gate up behind us. I believe. Oh nope, I'm wrong. Okay, so it is the timed one. Okay, so we actually have to find our way through. I just need to make sure. I want to map this out since it's actually better to, I think, map this out beforehand, or before actually doing it. Because you want to actually start, I believe, on a certain one due to the fact that it takes time to actually go through this area. So let's see here. There's the second one. We need to figure out which one we want to do it from. I think it's because you have to jump down, yeah, from here. So yeah, the second one's actually better to do this from. So we run here, run through here as fast as possible since you only have a limited time to actually light these little things. I believe it's 30 seconds in specific. So let's light this beacon here, and we're gonna run, because this is very timed and very limited. So if you want to do it the best way, this is actually the way you do it. Because I kind of remember this and kind of don't at the same time. Okay, done with that one. Now we just jump on down and run to this one here, and one more fireball should do it. And there we go. Easy as pie, and up goes another gate. And now we can make our way further and further into this dungeon now. I want to try and make it to at least a save point before we actually end off an episode. Or when we're inside a dungeon. If it's a dungeon, then we'll try and get to a save point before ending an episode, unless it's like super far into one. Like we are right now with, we're 53 minutes for me. But if it was like, let's say here, 45 minutes, I would try and get to at least a save point beforehand, because they're pretty close together as is, so you don't really need to worry too much. We're actually really close to one, I believe, because the first dungeon's not that long. It's about, if we started in this dungeon for the beginning of the episode, it would actually, we would already be done with it, is what I'm trying to say. It's a very easy dungeon to get through, as long as you're set up, like you have a weapon, you have your armor, and everything else that you would normally have. I kind of, as I said, I kind of glossed over a little bit of that since I didn't fight as many things as I did with the first playthrough, because I think I did like 5 fights in the overworld in episode before we actually got back to Ding Dong Dell to actually fix our first broken hearts, but we actually started the episode at Ding Dong Dell, so I didn't actually get to do those fights this time around. So that is the main reason why it would take us a little bit longer due to that, but due to my knowledge of this game, it's not as hard to get through here. Okay, I believe we actually have to go where this dangler fish is, I think. I could be wrong. Actually, I think I am wrong. We want to actually go through here. So let's go this way instead. And I believe this should lead you to the little opening next to the little save points. And this is actually the end of the dungeon. We won't be fighting the boss here because I want to actually go out, and although I did say I wanted to do a lot of the farming in episode for the earlier levels, I do want to actually go back and get some weapons. So why am I saying I'll be right back? This is where we're going to be ending it. But in the next episode, I'm going to actually have all the items we need, and we're going to be doing our second boss fight in the game. And I believe his name was, Hickory Dickory, I think. Or Hickory Dock or something like that. But in the next episode, we will be fighting off with our second boss of the game, and saving King Tom. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and keep being spooky. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.